This will stretch the minds of many Christians, and many people will be offended by this video who say they're Christians. But I just want to ask my fellow followers of Christ out there, do you love Jesus, or do you love the United States? Do you love this kingdom, this world, more than Yahshua, more than the Son of God? And I know it seems like a simple answer, well, I love Jesus more, but I just want you to really think about that today. Think about it this weekend. Do you love Jesus more? And I want to talk about the greatest commandments and really Jesus' example. The first one is from John 18:36. Jesus answered, "My kingdom does not belong to this world. If my kingdom belonged to this world, my servants would fight to keep me from being handed over. But for now, my kingdom is not from here." In Matthew 22, verse 39, Jesus is talking about the second greatest commandment. The first being to love God. The second was, and the second is like unto it. He's speaking about the first one. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And I know that seems like a really easy thing to do, but I just want people to start thinking beyond their borders. And I've got so many Americans I've talked to recently who want to bomb Iran, or they want to turn up the heat on the Muslim community as far as killing them. I don't mind people going out, and if you want to evangelize, I think that's good, becoming friends with different people of faiths, and if you can shed some light on Christianity, that's great. But bombing them, it's just really blows my mind that so many Christians, so many people who say they're Christians, want to bomb other countries. They want to have this allegiance to the United States, but at the same time say they're a Christian. And I want you to think about this. When Jesus was arrested, and Peter took out his sword and sliced the guy's ear off, Jesus disarmed Peter. And when Jesus disarmed Peter, he disarmed all Christians. And you have Jesus here saying in John that this kingdom is not of his world, so he's not going to fight for this kingdom. And later on, in Matthew, he's saying to love thy neighbor as thyself. And who is your neighbor? It's later asked, I'm not sure which verse, but basically he uses a parable to say that everyone is your neighbor. So I just want to really stretch the minds of specifically westernized American Christians. And, I don't know how to put it, but you really need to reconsider. You really need to reevaluate and reexamine yourself and your faith and your patriotism. And I'm not saying you can't be a patriot. I want the United States to do well. I want it to be a moral country, a country with integrity. I want them to be friends with other countries, not enemies. So, you had a lot of people, and again, this is going to stretch a lot of minds and upset a lot of people, but you had a lot of people mad at President Obama for shaking hands of the president from Venezuela. I hope he shakes everyone's hand. I hope we become friends with all these nations. And people are like, how could you be so naive? Look at North Korea or Venezuela. They're going to attack us, or they're going to betray us. Look, I think we owe it to ourselves, especially if we want to be called a Christian nation, to at least attempt to be friends with everybody, to reach out to other people. And all these Christians on TV saying how upset they are, how foolish Obama was to shake hands with this president from Venezuela. It's really sad, really, really sad, because our fight is not of this world. If it was, then we would fight, but it's not.